What's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be sharing my key takeaways on content repurposing from the Think Media podcast with Sean Cannell and Latasha James.
Repurposing down is so much easier than repurposing up. So focus on that core pillar piece of content to start, whether that is a podcast, a YouTube channel, and then repurposing down. And that way you can just distribute across the smaller social channels without all of that overwhelm, without having to think about like, okay, what am I going to talk about on TikTok?
Repurposing down is a great strategy to be able to take long form pieces of content and then create multiple pieces of relevant content to share across your social media channels.
How much micro content, repurposed content do you typically pull out of those episodes?
Minimum on Fridays, there's about 8 pieces of content that comes out of that one big piece of content to start. I pull a transcript that I can use in my newsletter. In an ideal world, I'd be doing a blog too, but that's next level. I'm not there yet. And then a few pieces of short form content. So TikTok, Instagram Reels, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever.
Latasha has a great strategy here, being able to take that content and then also reformat it into different ways. So creating additional pieces of video content and also sharing it on LinkedIn. What I would add here is being intentional in creating content in different formats such as video, written, and audio. So she mentioned that a blog would be kind of a stretch, and I agree. I'm not even doing a blog, but what about pulling out quotes? What about pulling out questions, creating carousels for these different social platforms as well? So while you can create different video pieces of content, I would encourage you to also create things in written, audio, and video.
There's also a really cool tool, I'm sure you've heard of it, called Dscript. I use that one a lot for backlogged content. I have 500 or so videos on my YouTube channel. So I look at some of those top performers, throw those into Dscript, and then I can basically do the same thing there. What's really cool is that they have that search feature, so I can search for different keywords.
I couldn't agree more. Dscript is an amazing program for you to be able to edit like you were editing a Word document. If you're looking for another way to kind of maybe automate it or utilize some AI to be able to repurpose content, check the description below where I have a link where I can show you some AI tools that I use to automate this process if you're not in the mood to do it manually.
I don't script my videos, but I do outline everything. I just do bullet point outlines and making sure, when I look at that outline, again, if I see like an interesting way that I can tie in 3 tips for this or an interesting statistic, like I just did a podcast about why you should be a social media manager or why that's a great, freelance gig to start. So I'm like, you know what, let me make sure that I pull some statistics. I went onto LinkedIn and found some interesting data that I knew was going to stand well on its own in that short form format. So I can just make sure that I'm planning ahead as opposed to like going the reverse and having to search through the content and find something that's actually going to be compelling.
Now, this was a top tip for me as a person who doesn't necessarily script their videos either. Being intentional with what I'm sharing and maybe finding data and statistics is a great way for me to incorporate for my repurposing to know, like, I definitely want to share this stat. I definitely want to share this fact. So I love this point of finding relevant material that you can use from the beginning instead of searching at the end.
You say frame your shot horizontal and vertical. What's your thinking there?
Nowadays, we got to think multiple formats. So I just zoom my camera out just a little bit. That makes it so much easier to crop it so that your face is not like completely zoomed in on the phone.
In the social media world today, it's definitely key to have your framing in mind before you shoot your shot. Being able to shoot horizontally and vertically is going to be key for your repurposing journey, especially when it comes to video.
Schedule time in the week to repurpose your content every week.
So I actually do my repurposing on Tuesdays. I do it as part of my group. I have a membership group and we co-work. We actually do a video co-working session. So we just all get together on Zoom, turn our microphones on mute and like co-work for an hour. And it's really helpful because it holds me accountable to actually do it.
I really like this tip because it helps us cut the excuses and actually get the work done. If you check the link in the description, I am looking forward to starting my own co-working space where I can teach you more about the repurposing tools and strategies that I use and also help you get it done in that time and space. Check out the next video where I walk you through some more AI tools to how you can repurpose with ease.